Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. If you are new, welcome. I am so happy that you are here, whether you're returning, whether you're new, whether you're just stumbling across this video, welcome. This is going to be the very first video of my new series, Food for Thought. And this series is kind of going to be like a Food Network cooking show in a way. I'm going to be cooking, talking about life, kind of the ups and the downs. And on a little secret, ever since I was a small child, I always wanted to have a cooking show. I would literally be in my parents' house cooking at like the age of 8, talking to myself like I had my own audience. So I feel like I manifested that in my life at such a young age, and now it's finally coming true that I'm creating cooking content and also talking about life. I feel like those are my two favorite things. So I'm really excited about this journey and this new series that I'm creating. The reason why I created this series is because I am dealing with some issues, some health issues. I have an autoimmune disease. I have some imbalanced hormones, and I really want to heal myself with food because food is medicine. And this is not everyone's experiences. This is my own experience, but I have been gaslit by the Western medical system. I've been told that my issues are in my head, that the only way to fix my hormone imbalances is with birth control, and so on. No one ever really kind of looked at the naturalistic way to heal things, and I am here to record my journey with food and kind of my new lifestyle changes that I'm going to use to not only heal my autoimmune condition, but also heal my hormone imbalance. So on this week's episode of Food for Thought, we are going to be cooking a hearty and warm and slightly spicy lentil soup. And I am so excited to share this recipe. And before we even dive in, I'm gonna let you know I don't measure when I cook. So when I write down the ingredients and kind of the measurements, they're gonna be guesses in the description bar. But trust me, this is going to be one of the best soups that you will ever eat. So like I stated earlier in the intro, we are going to be making a hearty lentil soup. And lentil soup is probably my favorite soup to eat in the winter just because it's just so warm and cozy. And I like to put a little cayenne pepper in mine. That's like my secret ingredient to have that little spice, to give you that little when you kind of take a bite of it and you're like, wow, I need more of that. The reason why I wanted to create this series was because I have such a passion for cooking. And like I said earlier, I have been wanting to do some type of cooking show since I was the age of like 8. And I kind of put that on the back burner when I didn't think, 1, there was money in cooking, 2, I went away to college to get a degree in psychology, and then I got my master's degree in professional psychology. So I kind of put cooking on the back burner, and through my journey of healing myself with food and with lifestyle changes, I have been able to really reconnect with cooking. So in this series, I will be obviously cooking, but I also will be talking about my healing journey and kind of bringing you guys through the unknown of healing yourself with food as medicine. I originally started to heal myself, my autoimmune condition, with food back in 2019 when my doctor tried to prescribe me cancer medication that would have given me cancer. So that is kind of really when I started to begin this journey on healing myself with food. And at that time, I completely transitioned my meat-based, processed food-based diet to a completely vegan diet, which at that time, it really allowed my body to detox all of that kind of junk that was sitting in my body from the processed foods and the unorganic meat that I was eating. So that diet really served a really good purpose in the beginning of my healing journey, where I was actually really able to kind of not have flare-ups with my autoimmune condition, which was so great. But at that time, I was still on birth control because I was taking that because my periods have always been irregular. And sorry if there are men on here, I'm going to be talking about periods on this episode. So if that's going to make you squeamish, mute the button and just watch the cooking. But going back to that, I was on birth control since the age of 18 and I'm 24. So I was on birth control from about 2015 to 2021, February of 2021. And that was also limiting me to really live the holistic and healthy lifestyles that I wanted. So I went off birth control. I also did not like that the symptoms or the side effects related to birth control, the packet that women are given, is like a textbook of just side effects that you can get from it. And I just really, at the time when I was prescribed it, I wasn't really given the information and the side effects of what could happen when you take birth control. So when I finally began to do my own research about 5 years later, I realized that for my lifestyle purposes that I don't want to live, birth control was the absolute worst thing I could be taking for my health. And I realized that birth control just shuts down your systems. It's not actually regulating your period. And when I realized that, I was like, man, I don't want to be on something that's actually shutting down my body's processes, whatever you want to say the word as. But that is when I went off birth control, and I probably should have done a little bit more research before I went off of it. But birth control depletes your body of so many nutrients, and if you're not really kind of getting those nutrients through your diets or certain supplements, when you go off it, your body is just going to be like, whoa, what the hell just happened? And that happened to me. About 4 months later, I developed the worst acne of my life, which I'm still trying to heal to this day, which is fine because I know that's my body's way of really kind of getting rid of stuff. So I am now using my diet to also heal my acne that is related from coming off of birth control. And the reason why I went on birth control in the first place was because my period was irregular from the age of 15 to 18. So that's kind of why I went on it in the first place. But now knowing that it actually was never actually regulating my period, I was like, all right, that's a big red flag. I'm going to try to figure this out naturally, since I believe that we really can heal ourselves from a lot of issues with lifestyle changes, with diet changes. So that's kind of why I am creating this series. And I've done a lot of research on kind of a nutrient-dense diet to help regulate your period and kind of really bring your body back into homeostasis. And there's a lot more than just food that goes into this. This also goes into lifestyle changes. And through my research, I really discovered that your menstrual cycle and all your hormone cycles for men or women are linked to your endocrine system. And I realized that I need to support my endocrine system in order to help balance out my hormones in my body. So I'm also going to be adding different lifestyle changes into my life to really support my endocrine system, which I can also talk about in further videos. But the thing about kind of healing yourself with food is that you have to eat a nutrient-rich diet. And the way I'm going to do this is really to incorporate a lot of different food groups. So I am no longer vegan. I kind of went vegetarian, and now I'm introducing more meat into my diet. But I'm also looking at how the meat I am getting is sourced. So for me, I'm going to spend a little bit more money and get free-range, grass-fed, organic meats, because I know that if I'm going to be eating meat, I want to be eating quality meat. I don't want to be eating meats that have been highly processed or the animals were kind of not given the good lifestyle, because those things really impact how the meat works in your body. And I have done a lot of research on certain key vitamins and certain key nutrients that are really important to balancing your menstrual cycles for women and also your hormone cycles. So I have compiled a list of a bunch of different kind of foods, and I am going to be using those ingredients to make different recipes that I will be sharing on this series. And like I said earlier, my journey with food kind of really began in 2019, where I transitioned from completely meat-based to a vegan diet, which I definitely want to continue having some meals just plant-based, but I think through the research that I'm finding, it is important to get certain animal proteins in your body to really get those nutrients that I have been depleting my body with, and I'd rather get them from natural food sources than supplements, just because supplements are not all created equally. And two, supplements can get really expensive, and I kind of want to make this journey for myself and when I share with others to be affordable, because I think we all deserve to be living a quality life and really learning how to live a healthier lifestyle on a budget, because your girl is balling on a budget. So I will be creating nutrient-dense, healthy meals that are going to support your body at an affordable cost. And not only that, I will be having deep conversations to really nourish your mind. So this series is about mind, body, and soul, and how we can best support all of those areas of our lives.